Sunday nights. Get ready for some unexpected guests.
Can we just have a quick chat? Of course you can. Go over there or something. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know this beat, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Love Island Season 10, Episode 41, and let's get right into the video. So today's episode was basically about Whitney and Ella and their beef. Like, for the majority of the episode, it was just basically Whitney and Ella had their discussion about the whole selfish and smug comment. It was obviously not getting resolved. It wasn't getting resolved nowhere. And then the fact that, Molly and Jess walked up after the conversation and be like, oh, I was on your side. Yeah, you're not selfish at all. Da, 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 da. All this and that. Basically, supporting, Ella instead of Whitney. Obviously, Whitney stand by her selfish comment. She just basically said, I'm not changing on that. That's what I meant when I said, da, 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 da. Basically, they're just going back and forth. And, it wasn't getting resolved. It wasn't getting resolved at all. Obviously, Tyreek is backing his girl. He's just like, if Whitney doesn't mess with my girl, then I'm not messing with Whitney. Basically, almost everybody in the villa keep on saying that Whitney can dish it out, but she can't take it. Whitney has like the most blunt comments in the villa, but when somebody says this about her or her relationship, she's upset. So everybody's basically saying that they agree with what Ella is saying, and Whitney's just like, I'm back. I'm standing on my selfish comment. I feel like, Whitney could have said a little bit better that, Ella was selfish. But to say Ella was the most selfish person you ever met is just like, I know you're going to exaggerated terms, extremes, because you're upset, you're in your feelings. But, like, the fact that you said it twice, like, you can say that Ella has selfish tendencies. She's selfish. But to say that she's the most selfish person in your life that you ever met is like, okay, Whitney, alright. Like, okay, Whitney. Even though they both have, like, very valid points, because just, like, did he use the challenge to, like, come at Whitney, basically under the guise of the challenge to say what she really been feeling about Whitney. So then Whitney and Ella and Tyreek was like, oh, but you guys voted us, the most attention-seeking couple. So, what, how is that fair? And, they do have a point, because if Whitney is getting upset about the smug comment, basically saying, I won't vote my friends for, like, something like that. But then again, you did vote them for attention-seeking. Like, you gotta keep it a fair is fair, a buck is a buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Whitney was like, I'm not going to vote any of my friends as anything negative in the challenge, and, we come back and circle it back to, Ella and Tyreek voting, her friends as something negative in the challenge, then, okay, we can, say, well, then, yeah, Ella and Tyreek were definitely in the wrong. But they are obviously in the wrong for calling them smug because of the whole vote situation. But then again, you got to understand what their definition, or the thing is that their reasoning about voting them smug was basically based on the vote. It wasn't even based on anything like they did in the villa. Whitney and Lockham had a valid reason why they voted them attention-seeking. They said that, Tyreek basically said, I'm going to make a scene in a couple episodes. Like, that's attention-seeking. Like, what do you mean I'm going to make a scene? So, it was just not going anywhere, very circling, and basically the next morning, the villa basically felt the tension. They basically felt that, the two, most personalities, for the girls in the villa, Ella and Whitney are, like, not on speaking terms with each other. The villa is more quiet. We got Whitney and Lockham on one side, Ella and Tyreek on another side, and it's just, like, not getting solved. And everybody felt that. That night of the whole argument that they had, the hideaway was open, and basically Jess and Sammy was voted to go into the hideaway. They had their hideaway. But at the end of the day, they were still basically saying, like, oh, Whitney and Ella are not on speaking terms. Like, hopefully we don't, let's break the tension that's in the villa. So later on in the episode, Zach gets a text that, Whitney and Ella are going on, basically to speak, have a one-to-one chat about the whole situation. I'm just like, they have a little beef the night before, and then now you're going to send them on a one-on-one chat outside of the villa. Like, was that really necessary, forcing them to have a chat over this whole situation? Like, the producers were really like something else, because other people had more valid reasons to have an outside one-to-one chat, but because of this whole Whitney Ella situation, let's go send them outside the villa. Like, please be for real. Please be for real. So they send them out to a chat, and even on that chat, nothing got resolved. It was getting, circling. Whitney was just like, she's standing on her selfish comment. She apologized to Ella. Ella was just like, well, you hurt my feelings with that conversation. But the thing is that Ella came at Whitney in the dressing room, because no one's really saying anything about Ella's, youngish sibling, comment. No one's even talking about that, even though Ella's like, well, I think, it makes sense that you're the most youngest person, basically saying that Whitney's acting some type of way, she's acting, like a youngest sibling, and you obviously know the traits and characteristics that people will be like, oh, you're definitely the youngest sibling. So, obviously, people are forgetting that fact. Everyone's just remembering that Whitney just called Ella selfish. So, it is what it is. The conversation did not go anywhere. They came back to the villa, basically said it was a conversation, it didn't get resolved, it is what it is. So next thing you know, we see Whitney, when they were getting ready for the nighttime, Whitney goes in the hallway and basically passes Ella, and she just gives her a hug, because she's like, you know what, like, she just gives her a hug. She apologizes again, and they kept on about their day, and it is what it is. Also, I want to mention that we always been said that since the first week, Jess is very flip-floppy, wishy-washy. We already know who Jess is. Like, Jess in this situation is very flip-floppy. So, anyways, Tyreek was basically like asking Ella, like, did you stand your ground? Like, did I coach you right? And, at the end of the day, it was basically, Ella just saying, like, it didn't go anywhere. Whitney's not owning up to the fact that she felt some type of way about a smug comment, and and whatnot. Anyway, after, Whitney and talking to Alakam, Whitney and Alakam just had, like, this, like, really good vibe, because it was kind of funny, because they were talking about how, let's, like, try to close off the relationship, and then he was like, oh, I need one word, or I know you're waiting for that one word, or those two words, and then they said favorite couple, and then they said smug, and I'm just like, okay, they're really so funny in their couple. So the next thing you know, Whitney calls Ella over, and basically try to squash the whole situation. She apologized a third time to Ella, and Ella basically said, I appreciate the apology, and basically said that let's just keep on going, we have a little bit of time in here, let's just keep, you're one of my good friends in this villa, like, we've been here for over 7 weeks, like, let's just keep on continuing how we used to be.
I'm sorry for that.
Okay, well, I appreciate you apologising for that. I conclude on, we've spent a lot of time together, we've built a strong friendship. Everything always comes from a place of love. Yeah, let's just move on from this. Let's just leave it at that, and just, like, going forward, because, yeah, we don't have long left here. You and Jess are my closest girls here.
If I call you my friend,
I feel like sometimes we're too sisterly.
We've got a sisterly relationship, very intense.
And that's it. They squashed the beef, whatever. Next thing you know, we see Sammy and Tyreek basically, talk, and basically he wants to do something big for Jess, because after the hideaway, he feels some type of way, basically, like, gave him some type of clarity, and basically he told Tyreek, like, just get every couple one-to-one onto the terrace, and then at the end of the day, let them know, to say, ask Jess, if she can be your girlfriend. So he does that, he's talking to Jess, saying whatever he's feeling, and then he asks Jess to be his girlfriend, and that's what it is. Jess is his girlfriend. So, it is what it is. They come into the finale, they want to, like, beef up their relationship. Everyone's trying to beef up their relationship. So let's get into the other part of this episode, which is basically the whole Scott and Abby situation. First we see Scott actually pulls Tyreek and Sammy about their comments in the challenge, which I'm just like, you know what, Scott? you gotta understand, you were saying some comments too in the challenge. Like, it wasn't one side, it wasn't basically everybody attacking Scott and Abby. So you asked him about the comments about his relationship with Abby. And basically Tyreek was like, do you even like the girl? And Sammy was just like, agreeing with Tyreek as well. And, Scott's trying to be defensive, like, oh, and like, I wouldn't hold her hand if I don't hold her hand. I wouldn't hug her in bed if I didn't, like, care about her, da da da. So they started laughing in Scott's face because they just know, like, you don't really like that girl for real. You're just basically, obviously, it's the end of the villa, it's the end of the time in the villa. Like, he's just trying to make something shake, he's trying to make something work. He's just trying to do what he got to do. Because, to be honest, if you just up here doing a friendship couple or just, what he was doing with Amber, it's just not a good look. But I'm just like, it would have looked better than, him trying to force it with Abby, because it's really giving force. He don't really care about her like that. He don't like to please. So, obviously, he was like, he asked them about their, what they thought about the situation, like their opinion. And then he comes into, the beach hut and basically said, I don't care about their opinion. So then, later that episode, they were asking, Whitney and Locke were asking Abby about the whole Scott situation. And she was just like, she does like Scott, whatever, but I just feel like he's not really present and stuff like that. And so we find out that Scott don't even make the girl breakfast. He don't even make her a coffee. He don't even really put any work into it. And Whitney just like, if he really likes you, he would actually work to do stuff for you. Like, if he really likes you, he would do it. I mean, Whitney speaking facts, because Lockham does it, she, whatever. So they were like, pull him for a chat and speak about it, speak out the situation. She pulls Scott for a chat, talks to Scott, basically talks about breakfast, like, you don't even make me breakfast. Like, when I was with Mitch used to make me breakfast without even me asking. So then Scott comes out and be like, why are we comparing me and Mitch? Like, I'm different from Mitch. I'm not even like Mitch, da da da. Why are you comparing? Like, I will make you coffee if you want coffee. And then Abby's like, I didn't have to ask Mitch. So he was just like, we're different people, like, da 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 da. But I'm just like, this dude doesn't care. He does not care about this girl. Like, he's forcing it. And I'm just like, I understand you're in the villa, you're trying to get the bag, whatever, trying to make it believable. But please keep it a buck, Scott. Keep it a buck. Because you do not like Abby like that. Like, you do not like Abby like that. It's really much giving because Mitch was single, or Mitch didn't want her anymore. You were single. You didn't have no connection. Catherine came in with Elam. That's it. You don't like Abby. Like, please keep it a buck. Stop trying to pretend to yourself and make everybody believe that you like her. So then after they were trying to go to sleep for the night, Lockham is basically, Lockham's like saying, like, if you don't really rate what you're going on with Abby, like, please end it right now, because, like, you're wasting her time.
Making no effort at help me out, please. How can I help me out? Help yourself out, bro. You're wasting her time. Like, if you don't rate it, fucking bin it off. I do rate it.
So he was like, oh, help me, Lockham, help me, Lockham. And Lockham's like, help yourself out. I'm just like, bro, Scott, you don't like Abby, please. And I'm just like, please get this man out that villa. I don't care, like, please get this man out that villa, because I don't want to see him force this thing with Abby and try to make it believable for the sake of it being believable. Because as soon as everybody starts doubting you, you're going to try to force it even more because you want to prove everybody wrong. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want no proving everybody wrong for the sake of just proving everybody wrong. Like, I want you, he don't like the girl. Like, he don't even like the girl. He don't like the girl. He don't like the girl. Just send Scott home. Anyway, we see the preview for tomorrow night, and obviously the family is coming. I'm like, wow, this is like the first time, maybe one of the first time you see a family come this early on, because it usually waits like the last 5 people. Family comes when it's down to final 5, not down to final 6. So, anyway, let's see what, these family members have what to say about, the couples. Like, we already know Scott don't like Abby. So who's coming in for him as family better tell him he don't like Abby like that. Please. I hope they don't even try to big up that relationship at all, because that man is not rating you. Please be for real. Send him home. But anyway, that was the episode 41 of Love Island season 10. And hope you guys enjoy the video. We're down to the final week. final week. Thank goodness. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, comment down below me your thoughts, comments, concerns, and subscribe to our channel. Subscribe. And thank you guys for watching the video. Peace.